Hey yo, what up? It's Healthy Visions coming at you with yet another video. Today we have Shane and we have Dre, both rocking the glasses. And our question today comes from a student who sat in on one of the sex talks for Healthy Visions and had a follow-up question saying, so, does this mean that I will definitely get an STD if I have unprotected sex with someone who already has an STD? I'm a little confused.
That is confusing. I guess it could be confusing. Well, to answer your question, no. You're not necessarily going to get an STD just because the person you hook up with has an STD. That doesn't always happen. However, the odds are that they go up just, I was going to say exponentially, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's like an equation. I mean, if you take one person who's been tested for STDs and they don't have any, and you take another person who's been tested for STDs and they don't have any, and then they have sexual intercourse, well, the chances are very accurate that no one will come out with STDs. However, if you take someone who has an STD after being tested or one that doesn't, it increases your chances of contracting that STD without a doubt. So, I mean, best practice looking into that is to, if you decide that you're not going to wait, whether it's with your for someone that you're dating, or whether it's just, again, whatever you want to call it, get tested and get that other person tested and make sure that you both do not have STDs.
Along with that, there are other risks besides just getting STDs associated with sex. Pregnancy for one, especially with unprotected sex.
Yeah, totally.
So also there's the emotional factors that come along with all of the 5 types of sex that we talk about. So there's more to it than that. And yes, the risk of STDs does go up. All of it's a gamble, okay? And you just kind of have to weigh the options because there's the whole, what's going to make me happy now versus what's going to be good for me in the long run. Yeah. And what's going to, think about your future partners, your, husband or wife, looking forward. That's kind of what changed it for me because there was a time when I didn't really think that that much of it. I was like, whatever, roll the dice. But now as I've gotten older, as I've looked back and lived through some things and learned a few things, I realized that, those risks or taking that gamble is not only going to affect me, it's going to affect others. So I think that's a good thing to think about before taking these actions. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, likewise. There was a time as well where, again, I just thought it was just a cool thing to do. And, there were things that were just available, to do within a relationship and things like that without weighing any of these options. I mean, STDs was definitely the concern. And I think as a guy, you really stress out about that. You think about oh man, I don't want to get anything. And a lot of times when someone's on birth control, and maybe this is going a totally different route, just call it a bonus. But a lot of times when a young lady's on birth control, guys, the risk of pregnancy, we're once that's out the way, we feel like it's fair game. It's free to go. And again, the STD risk is still out there. So I think looking at all these different options as far as what can take place, there is a lot involved. There's a physical side and there's an emotional side, as you know, that we talk about when we come to your schools and things like that. And that emotional side is something that, again, Shane hinted at, but just being frank, it does play a role with your understanding of trust and intimacy and attachment with another individual and how you view individuals, especially for guys. I'm just being honest. We're already objectifying women in our culture, in our media, and the perpetuation of sexual partners really, it just makes it that much harder for us to just say, oh, I want to settle down with one person. I've even heard guys even say, oh, how can you just have sex with one person for the rest of your life? And I think that it's appalling to even think that that's a terrible ideal. So hope that was helpful.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you guys next week.
All right. #HV.
Can't do that. Bye.